Hello, hello, it's me again. Hello, hey guys, hello. Hi. Hey, hi Maria, hello. Hi. Hi there, hello, hello. Hi guys, hi. Yes, I'm getting, messages now because of this thing that just came out about Sidney Powell. Listen, I'm going to give you my take on this, okay? So I don't want people to panic because I think personally, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you what I have. So about an hour ago or something, I happened to turn the TV on. Me and Missy were pulling a pomegranate apart. And hey Sharon, glad you're there. And I came across the Sydney thing and I started laughing. I started laughing because I said to myself, what is the best way to make the media crazy? To get the media to talk about this? Because do you see what's happening? They're going to talk about this. They are going to talk about this. So let me tell you for the people that don't know. Right now, it just came out on Breitbart. So Trump legal team distanced from Sidney Powell. Do you get that? Trump legal team distanced from Sidney Powell. And it's dated today. So President Donald Trump's legal team distanced themselves from attorney Sidney Powell on Sunday evening, noting that she did not represent the president, either as part of the team or in his personal capacity. In a statement, a tribute to Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani and Trump legal advisor Janet Ellis, the team said Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. Now, let me tell you something about this. Keep it going. She is not a member of the Trump's legal team. She is also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. Now understand something. We're also seeing this with Lynn Wood. But who keeps saying that they're part of the team? They even take the president's tweet. Like they're pointing out, well, the president said. You know what I'm finding odd? They're all talking about this. Exactly what the president wanted them to do because they stay quiet. So now they're going to make it that, oh, she doesn't have the evidence. Understand, I never took it that she's his personal lawyer. I felt she's part of a group of lawyers just like Lynn Wood. Lynn Wood is going after the Georgia because of the signatures. Sidney Powell has her own stuff now, and it's better this way because I always said to myself, I don't think she should be this close with the president because of General Flynn. I do not believe she would even come out with all of this stuff, okay? All of this stuff and then not have the proof. She has to separate. She has to separate. I'm laughing because we always see a shakeup like this. Every time there's something with the president, something changes. And you know, I think it's hilarious. I'm not taking it that, oh, she doesn't have. So I'll read you the whole article. So, like they said, President Donald Trump's legal team distanced themselves from attorney Sidney Powell on Sunday evening, noting that she did not represent the president either as part of the team or in his personal capacity. Even when she's talking, you know, when they're talking to her, she's saying what evidence she has. Okay? I don't ever hear her say about the president has, it's what she has. And I think this was done purposely. Now we're getting them to talk about it. I find it hysterical. They're talking about it. See, look, I'm not going to let this bother me. I don't think that she would come out. Look how well, if it wasn't for her, General Flynn would be in jail already. She would not put herself and her name on the line. So for me, this is all another shakeup. Matter of fact, I even one morning saw Jay Sekulow say he's part of the team, but you don't see him out there. He's busy right now doing everything with the Planned Parenthood and all of that. There's more than one. You got Victoria Tulsing. I don't believe Victoria Tulsing and her husband Joe DiDenova is even charging the president. But again, all of this is going to fit in. All of this fits in. And there has to be a reason that they're coming out with this statement. There has to be a reason. My idea is because she's saying the evidence that she has. So look what else it says. In a statement, a tribute to Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani and Trump legal advisor Jenna Ellis, the team said, Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. Doesn't mean she's not doing this no more. She is not a member of the Trump legal team. She is also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. Do you get that? She's not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. That doesn't mean that she can't, just like behind the scenes, we got all these people. And Trump's lawyers already said it. They have nothing to do with many of these private affidavits that are being filed by people. There are a lot of people out there that are doing their own lawsuit. To me, she's a warrior, and she's going after them just like Lynn Wood. Lynn Wood has even said it. Hold it. It's the media. Even Newsmax they had to correct. They had to correct Newsmax because they're all getting it wrong. They're all getting it wrong. They never said when they had the conference there, you didn't see Gloria Townsend say anything. They wanted to show support. They got the support for Rudy, the support for Jenna Ellis. There's other, let me tell you something, guys. There's other, you want my opinion of this? This is all a show, okay? There's been lawyers working on this. There is no way. Everything that they're doing, even with Giuliani coming out, Sidney Powell has the evidence, okay? That's why she can't give certain answers. I just laughed. I totally laughed. I said, wow, he's going to get, what is the big thing that we're seeing right now? Are we not seeing that the mainstream media just wants to ignore this? What is the best thing that they're going to get a kick out of? They're going to get a kick out of, okay? A kick out of putting Sidney Powell down. Now, people are going to say, what are you putting her down for? Well, she had no evidence. Evidence for what? Evidence for what? It's going to get them talking about it. It's like idiot Chris Christie, okay? Somebody said that, you know, the statement he came out today with, is he a real idiot? He's putting down, he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed of the president's team. Another one like Scaramucci. You know what, Chris Christie? I'm going to tell you something. I'm just going to give you a little advice because, you know, I really think that instead of being on ABC or whatever damn show, I think you need to get yourself to a doctor, okay? Because there was a period there that you looked a lot better. You looked like you were taking care of yourself. I have a problem listening to anybody that can't take care of themselves, okay? You really need to take care of yourself. Gracie, come over here. You can't. You know what I mean? Like, is this part of the show? This is what I'm saying. You know, at times I really believe this. I really believe that we're in a show, okay? Because the president knows how to get the media. I'm telling you, when this is all done, and, you know, it's going to make you laugh of who really, you know, remember, a lot of people are saying things and then we answer it and it gets the narrative going. Like, you know, why is Chris Christie? He was supposed to be very good friends with the president. Maybe he's mad. Maybe he's another one like Anthony Scaramucci, or maybe this is just the show with all of them. The president loves it that they're out there talking about him. It gets people to see, you know what? These people are creeps. I'll tell you what, they are really creeps. Maybe he's mad. Maybe he's mad that he didn't get the presidency. Okay? Look, either way, if it's part of a show, then fine. You know, the president knows what he's doing. Right now, Sidney Powell is on her own. Okay? Not once did she say, at least anything I saw, that, you know, that she is working for the president. She made it known that everything that's coming out is against this country. And I think she feels this way because she knows the stuff from Flynn. Okay? Think about it. Think about it. The president, Sidney Powell, is very close with General Flynn. So I'm pretty sure she's pissed off. Okay? She is not gonna ruin her reputation. So the way I'm seeing it, this is blown open to many cases. This is blown open for many cases now. There's going to be a case with Sidney Powell. You got the case with Lynn Wood. I'm pretty sure there's other behind the scenes that we don't even know about. We don't know about. But I'm happy. You know why? Because nobody was talking about this. They want to ignore it. But do you notice that as soon as they came out with a statement, So, a source, here we go, a source who spoke to Breitbart News on background suggested that the team had hoped to work with her, but that Powell's public claims have gone beyond the scope of the evidence they had seen and believed they could prove in court. Understand those lines. Has gone beyond the scope. Doesn't mean that they're against what she's saying. I'm taking it like this. She is also, a source who spoke to Breitbart News on background suggested that the team had hoped to work with her, but that Powell's public claims have gone beyond the scope. Means higher than what they have, beyond the scope of evidence they had seen and believed they could prove in court. That means that Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis is taking care what they can. She now has higher. Listen to what she says, okay? Did you notice today the video I said? You can go, it's on, you know, if I could flip this around, I'd play you her, wait, I can't flip it around. You can flip it around. Maybe you should see her report. Watch this. But that Powell's public claim had gone beyond the scope of evidence they had seen and believed they could prove in court. Powell had pursued a theory that Dominion voting machines operating with Smartmatic software were manipulable and had been responsible for switching votes from Trump to Democratic challenger Joe Biden. I'm going to see now, hold on, because maybe you guys should see this. So watch. because there's a lot of things that I'm posting and I could see by the numbers you're not seeing it. So either I have to play it live, and maybe, wow, I came up there, look at that. Now I'm up there on, I don't know if it's gonna come up again. Came up before. Yeah, I'm going to play it for you now. So let me turn this around. I want you guys to listen to this. Whoops. I hope I'm going to have to hold this up. Yeah. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Whoops, I got it here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah. So let me see when it comes on. So you've got to hear this. Hold on.
All right, we now have Cindy Powell on the phone.
Gotta hear this.
You got the little gremlins out of the system there, whatever the problem was. Cindy, if you can hear us, great to talk with you tonight.
Yes.
How are you doing? And it's good to talk to you as always. I want to start off with just the ruling. The biggest news out tonight is this Pennsylvania ruling from this federal district court judge. What do you make of that?
Yes, well, each of the district court judges has their own particular perspective on things, and I think that judge was appointed by President Obama. We really don't expect to win a lot of the district court cases, but ultimately the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court will have to get it right. We're very clear on the law and the facts on multiple issues, and we haven't even begun to present the big fraud case yet that I am still working on. And it's going to be a blockbuster.
She said she's working on it.
It's interesting. Obviously, I mean, you guys had the news conference this week. There was a lot of compelling stuff in there. It sounded like you guys were making progress going down a road of investigation. But as I think anybody understands, when you're trying to lay out a case, it takes time to find out what you have. You had a bit of a rub with Tucker Carlson this week, who basically said you didn't have any evidence when they asked you to come on. What is the truth of the matter there? Because that made a lot of news.
Oh, yes. Well, he sent me some very abrasive and disrespectful emails or text messages, and I responded politely, offering him a different person as a witness who could explain it. I simply didn't have time to do it then, and I sent him a copy of one of the compelling affidavits that we have in the case. And apparently that wasn't sufficient for him. He was having a little bit of a tantrum. But I didn't see or hear what he said, and I haven't had time to listen to what he said after that. I'm just proceeding on my course of getting the case ready to prove in a court, which is where we prove cases of law, not in the media.
What is your timeline as you look at this? What's the timeline you think before you can put out some of this evidence that can really, if you want to shut the media up, and they say that you guys have nothing, when will you have some of this stuff that's this hardcore evidence in paper and writing?
Well, frankly, the affidavits we've already introduced are hardcore evidence. They're firsthand testimony of witnesses who saw how and why the system was created and how it worked to accomplish the objective for Hugo Chavez. There are people who saw ballots being destroyed. We've got evidence from people who saw fake ballots being created. We've got all kinds of different evidence, and then we've got the statistical and mathematical evidence that's absolutely irrefutable. I mean, a coin doesn't land on the same side when you flip it 186,000 times. You can't just inject 86,000 Biden votes and expect anybody to believe those are real, and they're not.
When we see,
no matter how you analyze the statistics, whether it's the predictive model or the actual data as it comes in, it doesn't hold water. And we've got other testimonial evidence that appears to be coming in now to indicate the Democrats literally added 35,000 votes to every Democratic candidate to begin with.
35 in any particular state, or you say 35,000 where?
We've got it definitely all over one state, and I would be willing to bet it happened everywhere.
And when you lay all this out, and you're going to do this in court, do you have what you think is irrefutable evidence that will make up the minds of millions of American people?
Well, the burden of proof in court is only a preponderance of the evidence. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the criminal standard. But frankly, with everything we've got, these should be criminal prosecutions at a significant level for fraud and conspiracy to defraud provable beyond a reasonable doubt. There are hundreds of thousands of people in our criminal system right now in prison who were convicted on far less evidence of guilt than we have here.
Sidney Powell, I want you to react to something that this Republican senator from Pennsylvania, Pat Toomey, just said in reaction to the district court judge's decision. The district court judge is someone who's very close to Pat Toomey. Senator Toomey says that President Trump has now, quote, exhausted all plausible legal options.
I gotta let my iPad here because it went a little fuzzy. So I'm gonna push this back a little so you don't miss nothing.
From Pennsylvania, Pat Toomey just...
Hold on. The guy that's gonna talk now, that's Mark Halperin. If you didn't hear my live video, I like watching Newsmax, but him, no. Because you know why? He's only on the station because of the fact that he worked for Morning Joe. He used to be on the Morning Joe show and MSNBC. He's not for Trump. By no means. I'll tell you now, I was shocked to see him here, but I know why he's here. Because he was thrown off of MSNBC because of sexual allegations against him. So while we're waiting for this, let me tell you how I'm feeling with this, and I'm finding this hysterical. I really am. Because now this is going to be on the news. So that means that if it's on the news, they're going to end up speaking about evidence and things like that. Otherwise, this is a no-brainer. But you have to, first of all, you got to go by how they're putting it out there. To me, everything about this is misleading, okay? It's misleading. She is working outside the administration. They're the ones that put up there Sidney Powell, president's attorney team or team of attorney. I never heard her say it. She's working differently. She's working outside the administration, which for me, that's a good thing because when I first saw her, I said, how did she get in this being that so close to General Flynn? So, just like Lynn Wood, everybody came out and said, oh, Lynn Wood is working for the president. He's not working for the president, okay? Not working for the president. And again, it doesn't mean that they got rid of her. She's not gotten rid of. The president didn't get rid of her. This is good for the president. It's good to show the separation. But at the same time, isn't it funny how this is coming out? Like what made it come out? See what I mean? What made it come out? Because now they're going to do what they have to do. Did you hear what she just said about the 35,000? Do you guys understand? The fraud in Georgia is 35,000 votes given to every Democrat that was running. That's it. Let me see if this is working now. Okay, here we go. Back to this.
In reaction to the district court judge's decision, the district court judge is someone who's very close to Pat Toomey. Senator Toomey says that President Trump has now, quote, exhausted all plausible legal options to challenge the result of the presidential race in Pennsylvania. Is that true?
No, that's not true at all.
Can you explain why the senator's wrong?
To fight.
Can you explain that? Why is the senator wrong?
Well, he's wrong because Pennsylvania was one of the hotbeds of many varieties of fraud and criminal acts that the Department of Justice, frankly, should be in there prosecuting. And we're going to dump a whole lot of them into evidence in our fraud case that we're going to file in Pennsylvania.
Why do you think the Justice Department isn't?
See, fraud case. She's handling a fraud case. She's handling that. They all have certain parts, I'm telling you.
More aggressive in following up on what you see?
I think the Justice Department has known about this issue for a long time and turned a blind eye to it.
Why though?
I wonder how much the CIA actually had a role in starting this kind of program to begin with,
Why
to
would-
use on other countries.
Why would Donald Trump's Justice Department not be interested in this?
Well, I wish Donald Trump had as much control over the Justice Department as people think he does. It's taken on a life of its own, and I don't think even Bill Barr has the control over the Justice Department that he would like to have, because there are so many
Here we go
lawyers and
again.
so.
I can't help this because, my iPad is bugging out a little. So we'll just wait again and hopefully it will play again. So, yep. So I'm like telling you guys that this to me is no big deal. She's still on it because the way you see it on the TV, the way they're making it, that now it's like, so because they're separating, they're going to come out and make it like she went and has no evidence. That's what they're going to run with. But the funny thing is going to be, well, if this is supposed to be a hoax and that, why are you even covering it? Why are they going to talk about it? You understand? Like, why are they going to talk about it when if it's not real? So that's what I said to Missy. I said, you know what they just did? They got it to be in the news because they've been avoiding it. And I don't watch the morning shows. I watched part of Maria. I already told you guys what I felt about everything with even Alan Dershowitz and all of that. Again, you gotta, right now, the way I feel, they've been working on this for months. I actually believe that they even have people already. You know, the one from Dominion, the one that Gromer or whatever, I think they have him already. I think they have all that. Guys, whether she was actually working for the president, when you see the rest of this, the stuff that she's been saying, they have to have it. But again, to me, she's toying with the mainstream media because that's what they want. That's what happened even with Tucker. Tucker thought that he was going to get something from her, and they're not. They're too smart. They don't want to give any one of them anything for the simple fact they're going to rip it apart or, one, the safety of the people. This is really big, guys. This is big, and I'll tell you what, it's going to take a while or it could go very fast. There's even a part of me that, after I saw the reassignment sheet come out, and then did you notice who the Supreme Court justice were and who they were that were over these states? Who knows? Maybe they even know about it already. Maybe they're on top of this, and you never know. First of all, I don't believe that everybody got a rush because they say there's a date. There's a date that they have to have, or else President Trump or anybody else. Look, there's no elect right now, okay? Because the mainstream media can't call it. The electors have to call it. And I'm pretty sure there are electors that are pretty pissed. So what would they do? How about this? What if a state says, I'm not certifying? We're not going to certify because this is baloney. We know that there was cheating. And matter of fact, they could turn around and say, then we want a whole new election. Even though Alan Dershowitz and all the pundits say that's not going to happen. Why not? Why not? What if that happened? So, you know what? Where there's no paper ballots anymore, just the absentees and the military. This is what gets me sometimes, because things went a certain way. Oh, but it's okay when the Democrats want to change things, right? It's okay when the Democrats want to change rules and laws and things like that. But everything else has to stay the way. Oh, we got to hurry up. Well, as I remember in 2000, nobody was rushing when here in Florida, we were in the middle of that recount that took 37 days between Gore and Bush. I don't remember people saying, oh my God, we got to certify and we got to have it for this date. Remember, the electors have to vote. And I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised with everything that they've seen, okay? They could even, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised even in the states that Joe Biden won, they could turn around and say, there's been an injustice here. Because the president already has the evidence, guys. They have to follow procedure. But I wouldn't be surprised. I know you're going to think I said it to my sister today. I said, wouldn't it be great if the Supreme Court has seen enough and that they have the evidence and they declare, they do the, the win that President Trump, as far as legal, remember, President Trump came out and said, legal vote, legal vote. There is stuff coming out all over the place. There are so many affidavits that to be honest with you, I think this would take about a year to solve. I'm not joking. When you think about it, that's why President Trump could be the last president. Think about this, right? I wonder if he is going to be the last president. The last president because we're going to be in such a legal battle that it's going to take a long time. Think about it. I don't think I'm crazy. Let's see if there's more coming up because I want you guys to hear this. So here we go again. Sorry about this. Maybe I'll get a new iPad soon.
Places doing whatever it is they want to do and ignoring the standards and practices that historically created the Justice Department to seek justice and not convictions. I mean, I wrote a book about that back in 2014. We've been on this increasingly bad path for decades now, and it's done nothing but get worse because nobody's told the truth and stood up for the truth. But Americans are now. They're livid about this. And they could see it. Everybody saw it election night. They saw votes being subtracted from President Trump and appearing on the Biden side of the scale. And that's exactly what this Dominion system was designed to do. And we have eyewitness testimony to its entire creation for that very purpose.
There have been warnings about this system. We were talking about it earlier, Sydney. I mean, you had Senators Warren and Klobuchar that made a big stink about the 2018 midterms, saying that they don't trust Dominion, that they saw evidence that votes could be switched using these systems. These are Democrats who ran for president. What I don't understand is how does this get ignored? I mean, this is a nation.
Again. It's happening again. So listen, I'll try it one more time to see if it's gonna work. I'm really sorry about this, but the video is up. Now listen. Am I right? Am I right what I'm thinking? What do you think the media is putting out right now? See? They're going to talk about this. See? They're going to talk about it. They're claiming now she was fired. How could somebody be fired when she was never? Listen to me. Sidney Powell and General Flynn would never turn on President Trump. I'm telling you right now. She was never she was never hired. Do you understand? It's the same way with Jay Sekulow is also part of the team. That, I think it's gotten to a point, it's just like when the impeachment, how many people we saw. Didn't you actually see 2 weeks ago, we saw Pam Bondi out there, right? I personally believe that Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis, they're out there to keep everybody occupied. And the president has many people on this. And also, this is dealing. Now, we're forgetting something here. Everybody wants to take it that it's the president's attorney. Well, there's a problem here. And Donald Trump is the president. And this is with an election. And as president, he has a right, regardless of he's part of it. But let's say so many people are feeling that way. There has to be powers that he has. So if he feels that there is something going on, he has a right to question it. And that's what he's doing. From day one, he says it's not about me or Joe Biden. He says it's about the integrity of our election, because if this happens, our country will be taken over. Every time they don't like somebody running. And I think this has been happening. This has been happening. I always said to you guys, something wasn't right with 2016. And that's dealing with Obama. I don't believe he won in 2012. And he knew it. 208, you know, it happened that so many people went out to vote for him. They believed in him. I don't believe any person that you ask in 2012, do you really think he won? No, I don't. And that was the first time I started to believe that this has been happening. This is why, too, now I think we have the answer as to why Maxine Waters gets in again, Adam Schiff gets in again, you know, Nancy Pelosi gets in again. Makes sense, right, guys? When you could put a little algorithm in there and just change things, and then you know what happens? Nobody ever questions it. They don't question it. Not at all. So it's kind of crazy. Let me see if it's going to work again. I'll try it one more time. It's there, so.
This is a democracy shocking scandal, if it is true.
It is.
No,
And it's so big, I can't even wrap
it's
my
not
head.
working. So guys, I'm going to go. I just want to, wait a minute. I just read that I guess, let me see what's going on. Hold on. But you heard the part of the 35,000. So let me just tell you, because this is going to crack me up. Now they're putting out there, because they want this to go against the president. They want the optics that nobody, the president is failing, okay? Everybody around him wants him to concede, okay? Even now, they fired Sidney Powell because Sidney Powell doesn't have that evidence. See what's going to happen? So they're going to put that out there. But meanwhile, they're so stupid because they're talking about it. See? Did I tell you Sidney Powell is trending? Now let's see. Look, new. Trump ousts Sidney Powell from legal team after she unleashed false, discredited allegation of voter fraud that surpassed even Rudy Giuliani's false, discredited allegation of voter fraud. This is epic. This is exactly how they're going to keep talking about it. Then the egg on their face. This is hysterical. I'll tell you right now. Look at this. Here, Thomas Paine. Watch this. So let me just read you this from True Pundit. So this is Sidney Powell, where she said, "We're getting ready to overturn election results in multiple states." Powell said, saying that she had enough evidence. She has enough evidence, not we have enough evidence. She has enough evidence of election fraud to launch a widespread criminal investigation. First of all, each lawyer has their expertise, okay? Do any of us know her background? All I know, she's a prosecutor for the government, okay? She was. So watch this. Widespread investigation. She says, "I don't make comments without having the evidence to back it up." She added, saying that election software switched millions of votes from Trump to Democratic nominee Joe Biden. Powell said a whistleblower came forward and said the election software was designed to rig elections, saying that he saw it happen in other countries, referring to voter system, Dominion voting system, and Smartmatic, or perhaps other software. So now, see? Sidney Powell does not need to be on Trump's team to accomplish what she's out to do. It's actually for the best to be independent, just like Lynn Wood. A lot of these lawyers, but remember, the president has a team for the country. Do you understand? He has to. This isn't about him. Like right away, it went personal. It went personal. He's seeing these numbers, flipping. He has a right. Even if it didn't affect him and it happened to others, he has a right to do exactly what he wants done now, an investigation. Look, the left is panicking about Sidney Powell. She has uncovered mass election fraud, and they want to discredit her in any way they can. The recent statement from Jenna Ellis Esquire was not to distance themselves from Sidney Powell, but to clarify that Trump was not her client. Pay attention, okay? Pay attention. See, now they're attacking her. They're making it look like. See what they're doing? Look what Politico did. Trump campaign cut Sidney Powell from president's legal team. Look what's happening. This is hysterical because now they're reporting on this. Look what's going to happen. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. Look, President Donald Trump appears to have cut ties with Sidney Powell. This is hilarious. A key member of his legal team who also represents former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn in his long-running attempt. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this was all set up so they all come out together. This is what happens, guys. I'm hysterical. I'll tell you right now. I bet you people you're going to watch Mark Levin. This is what? They're scared the Kraken. Yeah. I'll tell you right now. It's funny because they even talk about Durham. Wouldn't it be funny if maybe Durham isn't even, is he real? Maybe Sidney Powell is Durham. Don't she live in Durham, North Carolina or South Carolina? Look it up, guys. I don't know why I said that, but there's things that I say, right, hon? And then it comes out. Wouldn't it be funny? What? Wasn't your... At this point, it's done now. Sorry, Deb. Sad but true. I don't know what this person is talking about, but I have no idea. I'll tell you. This is hilarious, and she got it covered. Has it covered. Because you notice, even when she goes on shows, Giuliani's not on there with her. Jenna Ellis is not on there. The same thing with Lynn Wood. He goes on these shows by himself. Yep. So, let me see one more time if it's going to hold up. Wait. Yeah.
I just wonder, how does this happen?
Well, that's exactly how it happens because it's so big, nobody wants to wrap their head around it. Nobody wants to untie all the little knots that go into it.
Yeah.
But we have to if we're going to be a constitutional republic. This cannot go on. Our votes must be counted fair and true. Every legal vote is entitled to be counted, and every illegal vote nullifies the vote of an American citizen and our public will of we the people. It's absolutely counter to everything this country was founded on. So we have got to get this fixed now. I can't unsee it. I'll tell you that. I certainly cannot unsee what I have seen. And I'm going to make sure everybody else knows everything I've seen too. Because we've got to hold our government institutions accountable. And
if the picture goes off, I'm still going to let you hear it because she's really good. So if it goes fuzzy, just listen.
Than this by
I'll
each
turn
other.
it back to
And
you
it does
to
cut
listen
across
together.
both political parties. It cuts across generations now, or at least multiple decades of this kind of corruption that's got increasingly more sophisticated.
Has anybody given
Just
you?
smudge the edge of a ballot and stick
Yeah.
it through the machine, and if the ballot would be rejected. But now they can literally drag and drop hundreds of thousands of votes wherever they want them.
I mean, that's
And everybody knew when they bought the system, and that was one of the features of the system. We've caught people lying now and saying that things that happened that ran people out of voting areas, and we've got tons of evidence. It's so much, it's hard to pull it all together.
I mean, how big of a, if this happened, how big of a conspiracy, how many people would have had to have been in on something like this?
Oh gosh, probably thousands, including the people running the machines at each of the polling centers. We know, for example, that one of the higher ups of Dominion went to Detroit the night of the election to handle things himself. And we also have evidence that there were any number of VPN lines open to the internet for foreign actors to be meddling in it.
Has anybody given you an explanation that as to why they had to turn the machines off? You talk about how the machines got turned off,
yes,
and then it was about done.
our witness from Venezuela, who saw it all created and how it worked, said that he knew as soon as the machines were turned off and those keys straight, it was because we the people, in voting for Trump in a landslide election, had essentially broken the algorithm that had been pre-programmed into the machine. So they had to stop counting in those states and areas and backfill the vote with fraudulent mail-in ballots or whatever means they used to do it, whether they just injected numbers or trashed votes for Trump otherwise and changed the numbers. I don't know exactly how they did it right now in each spot, but that's essentially the way it worked.
Let me ask you about the state of Georgia. Obviously, yesterday, the governor there, he certified the election for Joe Biden. It's about 12,000 votes. And what you see, will Georgia switch?
Yeah, that's a total farce. Georgia's probably going to be the first state I'm going to blow up, and Mr. Kemp and the Secretary of State need to go with it because they're in on the Dominion scam with their last-minute purchase or award of a contract to Dominion of $100 million. The State Bureau of Investigation for Georgia ought to be looking into the financial benefits received by Mr. Kemp and the Secretary of State's family about that time. And another benefit Dominion was created to award is what I would call election insurance. That's why Hugo Chavez had it created in the first place. But I also wonder where he got the technology, where it actually came from, because I think it's hammer and scorecard from the CIA.
Just to clarify, you're saying that Governor Kemp, who's been a longtime ally of the president, is directly involved because of financial benefit in a conspiracy to defeat the president in Georgia?
We have certainly been told that there is evidence of that, and it would warrant an investigation if anybody were actually going to do an honest investigation.
What more could you tell us about that alleged conspiracy? Is the governor's involved?
I can't give you any more details on that now, but it would certainly warrant an investigation.
Sure.
If it had been reported to me as a law enforcement officer, I would be investigating it steadfastly.
I know you say you want to do your arguing in court. You are an attorney. You're not a press secretary, but you all did have a press conference last week. Jordan Sekelo said that there's going to be a filing soon in Georgia that would be explosive. Can you tell us anything? Can you make some news with us here tonight? Tell us anything new that you're going to present in that filing in Georgia?
Well, I can't say that yet, but hopefully this week we will get it ready to file.
Sydney,
it will be biblical.
Biblical. What is the state where was it the worst? from what you see and what you're alleging, what state was switched the most?
Oh, that's really hard to say. Georgia is extremely bad. We've got ballots being shredded, ballots being thrown out in trash bags, lying by people working in the center, the votes being switched, the algorithms being run. You name the manner of fraud, and it occurred in Georgia.
These are in the Atlanta area counties, those counties, Fulton, DeKalb?
Yeah, I think the algorithm ran most probably across the country. Can I say that for sure yet? No, I can't say that for sure yet, but it looks that way. And it looks like 35,000 votes were added to every Democratic candidate.
You also talked about this ability of the system, and I thought this was so interesting when you said it, that it can take a vote and it can make a vote for Biden worth more than a vote for Trump. Do you think that that happened, or is that another part of the system that maybe wasn't used?
No, I think that definitely happened. I think that was the first step with the system, to weight the votes so that a Biden vote is worth 1.23, say, and a Trump vote is worth the rest of that. And so the Trump vote is about 3/4, and the Biden vote is 1 1/4. And that way, you can see the reports and the records of fractional numbers for the votes.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
It is. I mean, everything you're alleging, frankly, is nuts. Which is why I think you're getting so much scrutiny and so much criticism. But if it's true, and we don't know, and that's just a simple thing, is that we don't know yet if it's true because we can't see what you've seen. I want to ask you about Michigan. Michigan's a bigger margin than the rest of them. It's like 100 and maybe 150,000. What are you seeing in Michigan?
We're seeing essentially the same things in Michigan, except larger number of ballots being stuffed in. It's the old-fashioned stuffing the ballot box. They're just doing it by computer instead of by paper. That's really all it is. They're dragging and dropping files of votes from one person to another instead of just stuffing paper ballots in the ballot box.
Can you specifically?
And, corruption in elections has been going on forever. I remember LBJ saying, send some guys down to the cemetery because those people, if they were alive, would have voted for me. And they take the name and the birthday, and that's what they did.
So it's Saturday night. Can you preview for us as specifically as you can what's going to happen this coming week, starting Monday morning? Tell us where you're going to file, what you expect to happen by Friday.
Well, I don't expect to file anything by Monday. I'm hoping we can get it ready by Wednesday. If not, it should be ready by Friday. But it's a massive project to pull this fraud claim together with the evidence that I want to put in.
So you're saying you're going to file?
Remember, this isn't a summary judgment motion where we actually have to produce any evidence now. Your typical lawsuit, you just file a statement of what the charges are without any affidavits or anything.
But are you saying you're going to file the same?
The way the media is going about this is absolutely ridiculous and unreasonable to expect us to put evidence in right now. Although we know election issues are on an expedited schedule, but I could wait a month to file the fraud case and everybody'd have to undo their certifications because it's so bad.
But are you saying you're going to file the same case in multiple jurisdictions or in one jurisdiction?
Each one's a little bit different depending on what happened in the state, the different manner and means and the evidentiary aspects that support each one. We've got different affidavits from different witnesses in each of the states. So there are going to be some differences between them, but there are going to be claims that are identical. Some of the legal claims are going to be identical. For example, in a number of states, there were modifications to the machine after the statutory cutoff date that should invalidate every vote cast on the machine. I mean, there's no way Georgia can proceed to have an election using those machines for the runoff candidates. Yeah. That's absolutely absurd.
As we wrap this up, Sydney, I think everybody at home right now wants to see this. They want to see what you say you've seen. Is that going to be possible at any point? Are we going to be able to see some of these problems and some of these issues, the way these systems work and the way this Dominion works?
Yes, and there's actually evidence online now. I mean, we need to try to get our website up to date with the complaints that have already been filed. But exhibits were attached, for example, to Lynn Wood's complaint in Georgia that are remarkable and stunning, including the affidavit of the young man from Venezuela who saw Hugo Chavez create how they did the software, hire people to do it and get it done, and then how it worked to make sure he won every election thereafter. That's what it's designed to do. Their own handbook tells you that these things are features of their system. Right. Are we supposed to think they didn't use the features? Heck no, they used them. And they used them against their own candidates. The Democrats used them against Bernie Sanders in 2016. And somebody even told him what had been done to him when Hillary Clinton won that primary, and he didn't. And instead of standing up for the American people and the right to vote, he sold out.
You're saying Dominion, the Smartmatic Dominion system was used in 2016 when Hillary beat Bernie in the primary?
Yes.
Wow. I don't think we had heard that yet. That's an incredible development right there. And you say he knows that. Bernie Sanders knows that.
Yes, the person who sent me the data told me that they informed Bernie Sanders of all their findings, and he didn't do anything except get enough money to buy another fabulous house.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it's been used for both parties. One of the big problems is that we don't know who was elected by buying their election through Dominion. I'm sure it crosses party lines. That's not an accusation against every politician. It's certainly not meant to be, but it means we don't know which ones got elected that way and how much they knew about how it was being used for or against them, certainly not against them. But I'm reasonably certain at this point that John James was ripped out of his seat, and he was entitled to have won that election by the real vote. And the same, I think, is true for Doug Collins in Georgia. And there's no telling how many congressional candidates should have won that lost by the addition of 35,000 votes per Democrat or the algorithm that they were running against whoever they wanted to target. I mean, you can do it candidate by candidate.
That is something else. I mean, it's mind-blowing. Sydney, what you're alleging, I can't even imagine, and I hope that you will join us again to talk about what you continue to find as you continue to investigate.
I will do that, and I will try and get more stuff up online this week. We've got some website
or just email it to us.
Of course, people are trying to hack us and everything else, but
right.
Democratic Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney wrote the Treasury Secretary about this very issue in 2003, I think it was.
17
So
years
people have been complaining about it, and the government's done absolutely nothing except whatever it wants to do. So who is really pulling the strings here and choosing the American officials pursuant to this system? Because it's not the people of the United States of America, and that's supposed to be who it is.
It's just something else. And like you said, prominent Democrat politicians have complained about the usage of this system in this country. Sidney Powell, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the phone. I know how busy you are, and we appreciate the time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay.
So, hey guys, listen, I'm going to tell you, she was never part of the campaign team. You have to understand, this is getting bigger now. This is going to fraud. Okay, I want people to understand. Rudy Giuliani is President Trump's personal lawyer. Same thing when we had the impeachment. Jay Sekulow, Pam Bondi, and that. Remember, he's still the president. Right now, Sidney Powell is not going after anything personal to the president. She is now going after the fraud. All the fraud. So the left right now, and I could tell you because I'm watching Twitter, it's funny. They're not realizing where they were supposed to stay quiet and not even acknowledge any of this. They're acknowledging it. Because somewhere they're going to end up talking about evidence, and then people are going to say, what evidence? For a minute there, they want President Trump not even to be in the news anymore. But you have to understand, she is probably doing this pro bono. Let me see what it's saying. So here's an update from Matt Gouch. Update. Sidney Powell is donating her time and her team's time. She does not work for the Trump campaign. See? This was just clarified, folks. There is no reason to panic. Who is panicking? The mainstream media, of course, is in full spin mode here. Sidney never worked for the campaign. See, they just made it. Sidney Powell doesn't represent Trump. Didn't I say she's representing us, guys? She's now doing this for us, the same like Lynn Wood, okay? Plus, we want Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis and everybody to help the president. See, a lot of people are coming out. Sidney Powell never worked for the Trump campaign. The left is really confused after that statement, so looks like it worked, President Trump. Tell you right now, he gets them all the time. Because Missy, right? When I heard it, didn't I start laughing?
Yeah.
See, now you're getting the idiots that are going to actually, you know how funny this is going to be? They're going to take it a step further. They're going to start making up stories coming out of the White House as if, oh, the president couldn't handle, you know, Sidney Powell. She was too much woman. Wait for that, okay? Probably all of that. Let's see. See? And the campaign never said she was a member. See? The campaign said Sidney Powell is not a member of the team after she was in their press conference the same way Gloria Townsend and Joe DeGenova. You know, it's amazing how the media makes it that they have to know everything. They have to be the ones to tell us who the president is. See what I mean? And meanwhile, did you hear the exact words that Sidney Powell said? I can claim fraud in a month from now, and guess what? They'll all have to cancel their certification, just like I've been saying. If a lawsuit comes out, even if they certified, she said it. I take her word that if that happened and it took a month for her to get this together, oh well, they'll have to pull back this certification. So I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if it's going to be the way I say. Either it happens quick and Durham comes out and Barr comes out with people being arrested, clear cut, fraud, we got them. I wouldn't be surprised if people on Dominion, because today that was just a spokesperson, you know, that they brought out that was on Fox or whatever. And, you know, claiming, look how funny, claiming they've never done that before. Really? Then I wish somebody would have said to them, then can you tell me why Elizabeth Warren and Amy Gorbachev and 2 other Democrats wrote a letter about your company actually doing that? Switching votes? Because you know why? It happened. How did they know? You know how they knew? Bernie Sanders told them. Because when this was discovered, Bernie Sanders was told what happened. But you see, he lied to his followers. He says he was going to fight. But then when they offered him the lake house, he figured, you know what? This could go on for years. I don't have much more years. He says, I can actually like looking out the window of a lake house. Remember that? Remember how much money he took from his poor followers that believed in him? And here is the Trump memo, okay? So, and this is from Jenna Ellis, November 22nd. Trump campaign statement on legal team. Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. She is not a member of the Trump legal team. She is also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. Doesn't mean that she can't be helping for the country and the people. Rudy Giuliani, attorney for President Trump, and Jenna Ellis, Trump campaign senior legal advisor and attorney for President Trump. Senior legal advisor, that could mean that there could be 1, 2, 3, 4 more legal advisors, okay? Knowing President Trump, he has a lot of people. So, don't get worried about this. I find it hysterical. You know, they're going to come out with stories. You're probably going to hear, Sydney and President Trump had a fight. And he told her to leave the White House. He couldn't take her anymore, especially when he realized she could be taller than him. She's a tall woman, okay? And probably didn't like it, so I don't know. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to get ready to watch Mark Levin. Talk to you later. I'll let you know if there's any other stuff. What's that? Okay. Love you guys. Bye-bye.